Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RSF1, the podcast, the preview show for Season 2 of the League. My name is RSF1 Brundle, also known as the greatest driver of all time. Named after the greatest driver of all time. That's what I should have said. My word. Professionals always.
Oh, I never do use a comedy genius.
And I, as well as a few people that I have here, will be taking you through what our expectations are ahead of this very exciting sounding season. But let's introduce who I have here. Who could they possibly be? I mean, they've already revealed themselves because they're sniggering away in the background, but hey-ho. We carry on. First, not in any particular order, just because, you know. But first, we have King Kentish himself, RSF1 Alonso.
Right, I resent that remark.
Why do you resent
Liberace.
it?
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, I've never been, or have I ever... You lot, especially the older generation, you obviously have a bit of difficulty with navigation, so I'll let it slide. Greatest driver in the world, greatest wanker in the world.
Alright, turn it down. I also have the guy that did the driver draw while wearing something that was from Hawaii, RSF1 Webster.
Good evening, all you guys out there in the stream, man. Welcome to the show. Evening, Michael.
That wasn't a dip, by the way. It was great.
Alright, old boy.
Yeah, I'm
That's
good,
why
mate.
you
Good.
bedtime.
No,
Alright, steady, guys. Steady. I know you two are rivals here, but you know I'm gonna keep each other apart. Come on. And last, but certainly not least. Most know him as Element Snow, but he's changed his name. It's
douchebag. Means skadoosh.
RSF1 Skadoosh! There we go.
Hello everyone.
Is that good enough for you? Is that good enough for you?
Thank you very much for that lovely bundle. So some of you may know I'm named after the greatest driver of all. So I'm really excited for that.
No, you named after a reference in Kung Fu Panda. Don't. No. Oh my god.
Jeez.
All I'm saying is, I said that very loudly. My nan's probably going to come upstairs and say, "Why do you just shout that for?"
Right.
As long as she turns around and tells everybody that you don't smell anymore, we're alright, mate. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Gadoosh is not a swear word.
No, I said that you come up and say you smell. Remember the last time your nan came on the website, on the podcast?
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. You smell!
Any-
Happy days.
Anyway, can one of you guys keep the chat open, please? So we can have our viewers comment about anything of the horrible banter we've just had right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got it.
I've got it, mate.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Well, thank you. So, just give you a rundown what this podcast or preview show is going to be about. Well, we're going to be looking at the season. We're going to go through our opinions, our thoughts, looking ahead, what drivers to look out for, what teams to look out for. We're also going to give you a little rundown of each driver, you know, what they did last season, what they could possibly do this season.
Tomo's reading the Beano again.
Yeah.
Am I reading the Beano?
I heard a deep breathing, mate, so I just assumed you was reading the Beano.
I was trying to.
concentrating.
I'm doing everything I possibly can to make sure I don't fall asleep. You know what Michael was like.
I know what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like.
I've heard it all before.
Yeah, right.
Well, no,
right.
mate. When you start going... Right, let's
Yeah,
get on
yeah,
with
but,
the show
yeah,
then.
but you know the funny thing
Let's
is,
get
it
on with it.
always happens when Brundle starts
Verstappen
talking.
just put said.
Anyway. Right, let's get on. Let's get on with general proceedings. So, first topic of conversation. Just in general, what is this season going to bring? First of all, Rebster. Obviously, you did the driver draw. Very exciting driver draw it was. Very comical. Put a smile on my face anyway. You drew out some very interesting teams, very intriguing teams. Obviously, we'll go through them later on. But what are your expectations for this season? Because obviously, season 1, in general, from my view, was a very good success. So, what can season 2 bring? Obviously, hopefully, bigger and better.
Well, yeah, obviously we're hoping bigger and better. We've changed some things from learning from season 1 to make season 2 better. I think the draw, to be honest with you, there were some fantastic draws came out of that one, to be fair. I've even been told to wash my hands with disinfectant in future and all that sort of thing if I'm going to do the draw again. So I'm guessing it's going to be quite close. But yeah, you know, all we're trying to do is get a decent running F1 league together. I think we're getting there. This is only our second season, just about to start. I'm sure there will be things crop up throughout the season, as they always do. But last year was a hopefully big learning curve. This year, hopefully it flows a little bit smoother and we get some good racing out of it. That's what we're all here for.
Of course, very well said. Element.
Last year I think was very good, as Rebster said, for the first season. Well, just hoping the racing is closer than ever, and that it's going to be competitive in all of the tiers. So I'm just really looking forward to that this season, and hoping that the championship's going to be really close until Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, because that was the thing. Obviously, last season only Tier 4 went to the last race. Obviously, that could happen regardless of whether tiers are close to begin with, anyway. But it was just the fate that it was. But yeah, agreed. Alonso.
I thought last season was very, very good. It was good to see divisions like F2 and F4, especially F4. You know, good shout out to those guys last season. That took the division right to literally the last race of the season. So I'm hoping we get more of that this season. But we've obviously new drivers, new cars, and new teammates. It's going to be very good, and I hope it's going to be hopefully more entertaining than it was last season.
Of course, two kind of big changes to the rules and regulations, obviously, with today. And that is the Parc Ferme is on. Your mic is echoing a little bit, Alonso.
It's not mine. It's Element's. Because every time he comes on, I can hear you and me in the background.
Okay. Okay, Paul glossed over that. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, Parc Ferme is on for this season. Obviously, big change because it's off last season. Obviously, one of the big effects of that, Rebster, is going to be changeable races. So people are going to have to decide on dry qualifying or wet setup. Depending on what it is.
Yeah, they're going to have to do it on the fly now. So if they need to make any changes for the race, they're going to have to do it on the fly. And of course, you're limited to what you can change now. So yeah, it's going to be good. I think it's just better racing, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion. Yeah, should just be better, harder. That's what we want.
Yeah, no, and obviously, Element, you were saying that you wanted the racing to be closer than it was last season, and Parc Ferme obviously can only promote that, I would have thought.
100%. I think that with Parc Ferme being on, it's going to be more realistic, isn't it, to like the real F1. But it's also going to be like, oh, I'll just change this now because it's going to rain in 2 minutes, but I'll change it back in the race. Now you have to either choose, do I rather have, a better grid start, or would I just rather take the risk and have a better race? So I think it's going to be interesting, and I hope that, brings some good things out in races.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Yeah. Of course, the other big rule change or regulation change in this season, Alonso, is the safety car not being in use. And obviously that is a shame that it isn't, but obviously very, very understandable as to why it's been taken away. Because the thought of it potentially coming out when it really should is now taken away from the thoughts of the drivers. What are your thoughts going for it? Obviously, if the safety car is changed, if Codemaster bring out another patch, which they haven't for a long time now, and that changes the safety car, then maybe you can bring it back. But at the moment, it's off. So places like Monaco, Baku might be a little bit different. But what do you think?
Well, let me put it this way. When we announced it at pretty much the end of last season, it kicked up such a huge talk about it. A lot of people were like, "Oh, not too sure," blah blah blah. But I agree that the safety car should be taken away, because the thing was, when there was like massive crashes that happened by mistakes being made. We're only hearing, we all make little mistakes here and everywhere. When you thought safety car would come out, you never did. But then when somebody were going to the pits or something, and all of a sudden, the safety car will come out, it just completely ruined people's races. And a lot of people were getting frustrated by it, and a lot of people were getting angered by it and stuff like that. And some people lost out on it. So to the fact that, safety cars have been discarded, it's going to be interesting, because obviously a lot of people... obviously, when we had the virtual safety car last season, not having this season, stuff like that. So it's going to be more of a case of, will it work? If it does work, it's going to be great. If it doesn't work, then, probably be back to the drawing board. But let's see what happens.
Of course. Yeah, that's obviously general thing about the next season, done and dusted. Obviously many more sort of little fine changes have happened in the Discord, and obviously all for the better. New paddocks now in, so teams can chat amongst themselves, go set up help and anything else like that, tire strategies, ERS strategies, which is another thing. I think ERS strategies and tire strategies actually now that we've gone through season 1, what I'm going to do, say like for Australia, is I'm going to look back at last season's Australia race and see what was the best tire strategy. We'll take that out, take that thought out of my mind. So definitely looking forward to it. Anyway, let's go through the tiers in general. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through tier by tier. Tier 5 obviously first, then F4, 3, 2, and then the pinnacle, that is F1. And pick out just any teams and drivers where you immediately look at the lovely draw that was done on the Sunday night, and see any drivers and teams that jump out of us straight away. So we'll start off with the brand new F5 division to RSF1. 5 tiers now is 100 drivers. I did get my maths right, didn't I? Yes, 100 drivers.
Getting on that way.
Yeah, all good.
Unbelievable.
So to help me with F5, because I will be commentating on F5 this season, and I'm very, very much looking forward to that. But Alonso's going to help me out here. So first of all, Alonso, is any team that immediately strikes out for you? I mean, obviously yourself, you're driving for Alpha. Is there any other team that potentially you'll be looking at as maybe a rival, if you're thinking that Constructors is a possibility?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, for the past 2 seasons now, past few seasons that I've raced with this young man, or this old man, should I say? You know, I've beaten him twice in a row now. So, but now he's in a different car, so he might give me a little bit more of a battle, but which is Mr. Rebster.
I was going to say, who you're talking about?
I was going to say Rebster, you know what I mean? So, but looking at the draws, I mean, Tim is a very strong driver. I've got a good teammate in Button. He's pretty consistent. There's a few new drivers. You've got Cameron, who's a brand spanking new driver. I've done a little bit of racing with him. He seems to be pretty good. You've got also a couple other new guys. You've got Four, who's come back, which is good to see him back. So I'm pleased about him. You've got Jay Locker. He's in the Red Bull, so that will be something to look out for, more than anything. Obviously, unfortunately, obviously, I don't know the whole list of drivers, I'll be honest with you, but you've got like people like Epic Tanker, again, who's in the Red Bull, I believe. Albon's your teammate, isn't he, Rebster?
No, Rebster's teammate is Timmer.
No,
that's right. Yeah. Rebster and Timmer. Yeah. So
it's my third Irishman in a row.
Yeah, I know how you like you're Irish. You know what I mean. So, but no.
Potatoes.
Also, we've got a Military Virus, who's a new driver for Williams. So that's another new driver. I don't know who he is. I've never raced with him before. But I think Timmer and the Toro Rosso. I've got a sneaky suspicion. I mean, obviously, look, I'm not all joking aside. I've got a lot of time for Rebster, and he knows that. And the thing about it is, obviously, it will be. I'd like to have a rivalry with him. You know what I mean? That he can actually compete. You know, and I think with a teammate like Timmer, and in a different car, because he's, you know, the Toro Rosso is a very good car. It could be a very interesting rivalry this season, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously, with F5, you've got a majority of it are brand new drivers, some of which are completely brand new to league racing in general. So,
well, we had that last season in F4. So, you know, to give you a couple of shouts out, just you know, Primus Gaming was one of the new drivers. RSF1 Raikkonen was another new driver who came through the tiers. Dude Eagle was another one as well. We had Scotsman who came in. You know, so you know, those 4 drivers alone were brand spanking new drivers to the league. And also what was his name? The F4 champion last season, Force Ends. Yeah, he was. He came back. So, you know, we had quite a number of decent drivers last season. Also, we had McCracklin, another new driver, you know. So we had some really good, decent drivers last season for F4. And to be perfectly honest, and I'm sure Rebster would agree with me, well, you would because you commentated it, but everyone wanted to watch F4 because, you know, a lot of people were thinking, oh, you know, F4's going to have a lot of problems, stuff like that. And in actual fact, we had probably the greatest races, you know. It was fantastic racing from all the guys, and I'm hoping it's going to be exactly the same this time around in Season 2.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking more at the experienced drivers maybe to look out for, because obviously they understand how everybody works.
Well, yeah, again,
how
like
consistency.
You know, you've got myself, you've got Four, you've got Rebster, you've got Timmer. You know, just to name the 4 of them straight away. You know, you've got Jay Locker,
that's the team.
Races. You know, you've
that's
got
the team, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying.
Rebster and Timmer.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying as experienced drivers, as you asked me. There's going to be a lot of experienced drivers in there that obviously have raced before, who know pretty much know how. And the fortunate thing is that I don't know. It feels different when you're in the lower tier because it's more of it's more of a family sort of thing. That's how it was last season in F4, and I'm sure it will be exactly the same in F5, and I'm sure that F5 will be the best division. Well, yeah, best league in the division, basically, or best division in the league.
Yeah, we shall see. Yeah, my team to look out for myself. Commentary point of view is Repsol and Timmer in Toro Rosso, basically because they, as I said, they already done a season before. Timmer was my most improved driver from the beginning of season 1 to the end. He's there, and obviously they're both very wise drivers as well, so that's a team I'm looking out for. Maybe Albon and Beast Pro in Mercedes. Albon is a very eager driver, so be looking forward to see what he can do. And one thing also I really would love is for Overcome Orphan to get a podium. I will lose it if he gets a podium, because I think he's, no offense to everybody else in F4, everyone are all very good drivers, but the resilience and the tenacity that Overcome Orphan had last season, just sticking around in races, he would be like 2 laps down and still stick around just for like 1 or 2 points. But as the fact he did that shows the effort that many other drivers should look at. So I really hope he has a good season for this one. Hope he does well. Yeah, F5 is going to be on the Wednesday, and that will be commentated by myself. I'm still looking for a commentary partner for that. But yeah, that is my tier. I'll be giving you the action for that Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock. Moving on up to F4, and for F4 we have RSF1 Rebster, who is going to be your commentator or your streamer for this season, Rebster. So, and you've done your research because you emailed me the previous points, the previous team, and every little stat that F4 has for yourself. You've done very well. You've done very well on your homework there, Rebster. So, yeah, take it away. What is the teams and drivers to look out for you?
Also bought you an apple, but as you can't physically get it, I'll eat it myself later. So
no bribe, right. No bribe.
Just teacher's pet.
Right. Team-wise, obviously there's some good teams coming on here now. Ones I'd be looking at, it would be Bodda and Tom the Eco Maniac. Bodda done really well last season. Got a little bit out of his depth, but his driving skills are absolutely fantastic. You've also got to look at my son Junior, okay, because he can drive pretty fast. He was a late comer to Division 4, so he came down from F3, I believe, into 4. He was quite fast in F4 last season, so F4 this season should really suit him, I think. Raikkonen will be another one to look out for, although I don't know about his teammate Zombiehead because he's new to the league, so I've got no data on him. And also Scotsman showed that he had quite a good bit of pace. He's paired up with Daniel P45, which is also new to the league this year, but I know that I know him from another league, and I'm pretty sure he was kind of F2 place. F2 in the other league.
Yeah, he was my previous teammate, was Daniel P45.
Right, so he should be good to watch out for.
So Scotsman, if he hasn't realised that already, Daniel P45 is a very, very good teammate. So
yeah. So pretty much the only one who's going to be he's going to have it a bit hard, and I don't believe he's got a teammate yet, is Primus in the Merc. He done really well last season, finished 4th in Division 4. He's staying in Division 4, but effectively that's moving up. Another good driver. He needs a teammate to try and help him through the season, but I'm sure he'll fight for his stand, even though he hasn't got a teammate at the moment.
He will get one.
There's some good teams to look for there, mate. I think it's going to be a very good division. We've got
Yeah.
Cuddy, he's new. He's driving with Quaker Oats this year. He finished 8th last year in his division. So, you know, I've heard that Kid Cuddy is quite fast. So that also could be another good pairing. There's some good teams out there, I think, to be honest with you. Should be good racing.
Yeah, should be very, very good. F4 is on the... I forgot the day. Monday.
Yes.
Monday at 8 PM for F4. Where RSF on Webster will be streaming for you on that evening.
Unless it
Right.
changes. Of
Moving
course.
on.
Nothing is set in stone.
Yeah, of course. Of course, any changes we will let you know at some point. F3, which I will take control of. I'll give you the information about that. And the first thing which I thought about with F3 when I saw the drivers in there, it's very hard to call for me personally. I don't see a immediate front runner that jumps out at me because they're all so very close. So once again, like in F5, I'll be looking at experience and those that have been in the leagues before. There's actually quite a few drivers that obviously we know and love in F3 that to look out for. But first team I'm picking out is probably Toro Rosso, Eyes the Best and Top Notch. I know I've known Eyes the Best for quite some time, been in multiple leagues for like, how long is it now, about 5-6 years. Wise Old Head is on Eyes the Best, so he'll be looking to go strong. Top Notch was a good teammate to Hamilton last season in F3, so be looking for a good season once again. Obviously got McCracken in Renault with Smooth Driver. Apparently Smooth Driver is very, very good and understanding, knows his racing, so that could be one to watch. Yeah, all a very good tier in there. Obviously you got Alco and McCracken both from F4 last season, moving up. Yeah, all's very good. Charisma coming down from F2, so I reckon he could be a front runner at the top of F3 potentially. Yeah, all very, very close. All very, very close. Element, you used to be in tier 3. Obviously, so you know quite a few of these drivers here. Any that you would say maybe stand out? Because I can't call it.
Really joking. Nah, there's a good drivers there in tier 3. You got, for example, Camo. He's a quick driver. He's quick, but he likes to crash out. He likes to see the wall quite sometimes.
No offense to him.
No, he doesn't really care anymore. It's just the truth. You also have McCracken, who moved up from F4. He's now in F3. He's a quick driver as well. So yeah, there's some good drivers. There's some new drivers that have moved up or down, which I haven't really raced with, but the guys that I raced last season, they were good. They were good. They were consistent.
Yeah, all very good. Yeah, so F3 is going to be streamed by RSF1 Verstappen, I believe, and that will be on the Thursday at 8 PM. All tiers obviously at 8 PM. I should say that now, otherwise I'm going to say 8 PM every single time. But yeah, RSF1 Verstappen will be streaming that for you. The frontline speed guy, for those that don't know him. We all know him by now. So yeah, so
he's the one that made up. He's the one that made up frontline speed, wasn't he?
No, he's not. He thinks he is.
Yes, he is.
But he is not. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Trust me. There's only one person that does the frontline speed properly, and you're talking to him. No, it's not Verstappen. Don't make me.
Well, I'm not talking to Verstappen, so it can't be him.
Well, exactly. It's not Verstappen. It's me. Simple as that. All right. Unbelievable. You know what I mean? Why are you nicking, son? Get your comments right. You know what I mean? Okay. I am literally getting it completely copyrighted as we speak.
Yeah, so that is F3. Yeah, Thursdays 8 p.m. RSF1 Verstappen is your streamer for that. F2. Moving on to F2, which will be the very first race on Sunday in Australia. No pressure for us there whatsoever. Yeah, always kicking off the week technically. If we're going from a Sunday to a Thursday, yeah, kicking off the week. Jake covered the information for me for F2. He unfortunately would be here tonight, but he's got a meeting and his work, so he's already messaged me forward. So, interesting notes he put. Obviously, new drivers to the tier. We obviously got the Devil coming down from tier 1, as with Ioaks, No Shoals, Samika McBates. Coming up from F3, Tomic Brezina. Coming down from F1, Rapid Sprays. And then you got Hamilton, obviously tier 3 champion from last season. So, ones to watch. Although, he's put 3 teams to watch. Obviously, he's put the Renault team of No Souls and Shane as that combination. Alpha of Brezina and Schumacher. And the Mercedes team, which has Hamilton at the present moment. His team is to be confirmed. But those 3 teams straight away. Rebster. Obviously, you know Shane quite well in the Renault team. Obviously, he was a very good teammate to our eventual F2 champion Magic Mark. Obviously, new teammate in No Shoals this season. Why do you think Jake can maybe pointed them out? I know the reason, but do you know it?
I think because of their consistency.
Yes. Exactly. So, yeah, very good. He's also picked out a few drivers as Jake. He's picked myself. I don't know why he's picked myself.
Who, Captain Penalty?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
How did he get that one?
Picked him out. I'll tell you, he's picked him out for the amount of penalties he's going to score this season. You know what I mean? He's going to beat his record.
Yeah, he's also picked out Schumacher, who's obviously a front runner for the majority of last season. Hamilton, obviously I mentioned F3 champion. Man with the Cash as well. Man with the Cash used to be in Ferrari, now in Racing Point. Change of colours, but no change of pace. It's still very quick. Obviously the Devil from F1 and No Shoals he also picked out from F1. So very competitive league. Very competitive league F2. All should be.
Just add one thing in there if I can about Schumacher. I believe he will do better this season without a shadow of a doubt. Because where his legs are so short, last season they had wooden blocks on the pedals of his car and they kept falling off. This year they've actually built resin blocks into them.
Is that why he's gone up to Scotland?
He's only 4.
He's gone up to Scotland to go and get bigger sold for his pedals, is he?
That's not his fault. It's just short. He can't help it. Yeah. But when you're 4 foot, you have a problem reaching them pedals.
AKA Stump. God bless him.
Stump.
AKA Stump. Or Stomp, if you want to put a Scottish accent. That's my best attempt at a Scottish accent.
Don't you ever do that again, right, Brundle?
That's nearly as bad as your American accent, mate.
I know it is. You know what I mean?
What American accent?
That's what I mean.
That team you have a problem running. Team you have a problem pronouncing. What is it again?
I'm sure it'll come
you
out.
Mean that one? If you mean that, you mean this one? If you're watching the stream, you mean that one?
Save it for later.
No, come on.
Does it mean that one?
Yeah, system. Do what you do. Come on, do what your demons say. Sorry, what is it?
Arse.
Your arse? No, it's harse, mate. There's
harse.
an H there.
I said a her.
Harse? What, harse? But you're harsing yourself? What's the matter with you? Come on, it's hairs. You know what I mean? Come on, what's the matter with you?
Oh dear. Yes, F2 obviously on the Sunday at 8 PM, the very first race, obviously this weekend, kicking off things in Australia. I believe Primus Gaming is going to be the streamer for that. So taking you through the action this season. He won't be joined by Bodder, unfortunately. Bodder is not.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I just see the comment in the chat by a guy called Bennis Balling, and I thought he was taking the mickey out of Tommy, calling him Basildon Billy. But I read it wrong. It's not that at all. Go on, Michael. Sorry, that just made me giggle a little bit.
That's alright. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Bodder won't be commentating this season, which is a shame because him and Primus did F2 very well. But yeah, Primus is carrying on commentating duties on the Sunday. So yeah, he'll be taking you through the action on the Sunday. So, and last but not least, obviously we go to F1, which is going to be on the Tuesday night, and we have the Raikkonen streaming that one. But Element here is going to give help me with some information on F1. And
so what's his name? I thought you had it right the first time.
Element.
No, it's not his name.
Skadoosh.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's better. That's better. Right, so first off, Skadoosh, obviously F1 that's where the scary people are. This is where the people that have really scary pace at. But so it's really tough to call, but I think you already have a name in mind that could potentially challenge, obviously, our previous champion, Unity Hush.
I have a couple.
Am I thinking the same line? Oh, you got a couple. Go on.
I have a couple. So, to challenge, I think we have, of course, MNT Hawks, who's got disgusting pace. From what we've seen in socials and stuff. We also have Dyslexic, his teammate in the Mercedes, who's really good. Really good pace there.
Strong pair, that is
a disgusting pair. Generally, you look at that and you just wanna go to the toilet
and
puke.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would. Disgusting.
That's jealousy. That is. That's really bad for you, there, Skadoosh.
Nah, I'm in love with that. And then you go down a bit more in the teams, and you have someone called RSF1 Karoon. Now, he's in the pad compared to the other guys, but he has got some great pace as well. He could be up there. You also have Unity and Magic Mark. So you have the Unity. He was the F1 champion, so he's trying to retain the championship. But then you also have Magic Marks, who was an F2 champion, who's come up to F1. Maybe he can steal the championship from his teammate. You never know.
Well, saying that though, which car they're in?
Ferrari.
So it's a Ferrari Mercedes. There you go. 4 very powerful drivers there. In 2 of the teams that I've got the worst.
The Red Bulls are not shy either. The Red Bulls are not shy either. They have Ozza 32, who's a very quick driver, and AMS Easton, who I used to race in F3, and he's treating himself to go up to F1. He's a very good driver, very quick.
AMS is good, yeah, but Ozza.
AMS, I don't know about AMS. But, right now you have Bamba Viking and RSF1 Battle. So both of them, they're up there. They could be up there on their day. They could get some good points. McLaren now. With McLaren, we have Lefted, who's very quick. I think he could challenge Unity for the title. And MNT Hawks and stuff. But we have Verstappen, RSF1 Verstappen, who's on the chat, I think, on the Twitch chat. Bless him, he's on the pad now. I think his wheel broke or something. He's not the pace that he was last season. So I think he'll be fighting for.
Honestly, Skadoosh, has he actually told you why he broke his wheel?
No.
Right, according to what I understand from inside track, apparently because he kept going into bottling it and going into a wall, he threw his wheel. Got himself a little bit upset. Kept on bottling it in, last season. So now he's on the pad. So obviously, hopefully, he's got no excuses this year. So we'll see what happens.
Actually, he's in the chat. Let's get a bit of clarification here because I heard. So, is his actual wheel broken or is his A button broken?
It's one of his buttons, I heard.
Well, I think
So-
his wheel and his
So
wheel.
all he needs to do is remap the A button. That's all he needs to do, and he's still got a wheel.
Ah,
Verstappen, you sandbagger. Caught you out, mate.
Just make the A button irrelevant or something.
No, well, apparently,
Like it doesn't.
I don't know. I think he, at the end of the day, we had this running commentary. Obviously, when he came back to the league, which he did very well in the Williams, bless him, but he had this uncanny thing to, do Q1 absolutely superbly, Q2 absolutely superbly. When it came down to the nitty gritty, bottle jump. Oh, sorry about that. Bit dusty around there. Sorry about that.
Got a very nasty cough there, Tommy. You want to sort that
Yeah, I
out?
know. Yeah. Sorry, mate. It's a bit dusty around here.
You might want to be sorting that out before that hampers you for the season
Right, should I
ahead. I
very
want to be
quickly
a
carry on
continuing
with the
crash, you know.
drivers in F1?
Nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Nothing will
Yeah,
happen.
Before we talk about
Yeah.
Alonso's cough. Right, so in the Alpha, we have AMS Vettel and Skunk Burner. They're both very quick drivers. Skunk Burner got a new wheel, so he'd be right up there with the guys. He came from F2. He's very good friends with Magic Marks. So them to have a little bit of a rivalry, but it's even more than just a rivalry because they're good friends. So it's different gravy. Toro Rosso.
Oh, for God's sake, not again.
Toro Rosso, Pigeon Munch and Lando. Quick drivers. That's a solid team to be fair to Toro Rosso. Of course, Ref, so you're going to be cheering them on, aren't you?
Absolutely, mate. Toro Rosso is my team this season.
He's already got the
Yeah.
pom-poms for it. And the skirt.
Don't you believe it, mate? I'll be there on the
I've
front
got-
lines.
Yeah, with your hobbly little knees. God bless you, mate. You know what I mean?
And
Can't
then,
be a patriot
then-
like you, Tom. Like you, Tom.
right. in the Haas.
So in the what?
In the Haas.
It's got one S, not multiple.
It's got two S.
In the Haas. Yeah, he's got two
Haas. Right. In the Haas, we have Gary, who I think finished third
In the
or fourth
Haas.
last season in the championships. So that's very good. And we have Karun, who we just talked about. Very quick driver. Racing Point, Shrimper, and Azza. Solid team. Shrimper, quick driver. Well, if in SF1, so yeah. And Azza, who was in F2 for testing, but looks like he found a bit of pace and treated himself to F1. And in the Williams, last but not least, we have Mexizu, one of the Mexican dudes. That's great to see him here. And John Digweed. Wasn't he in F2 last season, Rundle?
He was, yes.
Yeah, so the end of the season, wasn't it, when he found his true pace, or he found his setup or whatever, and he just had some lightning speed. But yeah, that's gonna be all the drivers. I think the biggest teams here, I think, right, if you're looking at everything, it's gonna be a battle between Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull.
The
Haas.
The Haas.
The
Yeah, that's
Haas.
how you say it there, Crumble.
Alright, I'll practice that.
Don't practice that, you know what I mean? It's bad enough with your language as it is.
I tell you what, it's gonna be a close season between all of these drivers. It's gonna be
No,
good.
I've got to agree with that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very good season. As long as they don't have a lot of crashes like that season, I think they'll have a great season.
I think it's going to be between
And then-
Mercedes and Ferrari, to be honest. Those four drivers are just going to absolutely dominate. No disrespect to
Oh,
Easton.
you
Easton's
can't
a
you
very,
can't cut out the other guys already, can you?
No,
In the first race?
I'm not cutting out. No, listen, hold on a minute. I'm not cutting out anybody, right? I'm being absolutely brutally honest. No disrespect to the other drivers. However, you have got four of the most consistent drivers. They are all four very, very good, very consistent, very good, very powerful, very quick drivers into the most quickest cars, right? Mercedes and Ferrari. It's going to be very difficult. Bear in mind, we're talking about if you look at the two teams, you've got Unity and Magic Marks, two champions. One that run away with it in Division 1, Unity Hush, absolutely dominated the whole season from start to finish. Magic Marks, who had a fantastic season with F2, did very, very well at the Waiting Point. And in the other league, right, the other division, in the other hand, you've got TM Hawks, and you've also got Dyslexic, and Dyslexic was extremely, very, very good. Again, former teammate of Verstappen, was originally in the Williams. They are very, very good. And when we, me and myself, actually, believe it or not, me and Rosa had the pleasure of sitting there watching Unity and Dyslexic, and they were both absolutely, trying to beat each other time, lap after lap after lap after lap after lap for fastest lap. And they were both consistent, weren't they, Reb?
Yeah, they were.
So when you look at that,
it's good. I think
very good.
I think the top, Ferrari, Mercedes, and I think it's going to be a close season overall. But I feel like maybe there's going to be a couple of teams which edge out a little bit. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to be a really close season overall. And then very quickly in the reserves you have AMS C-Tech, very quick driver there. Rhombus, who was very quick on the pad, he's now on the wheel, so he's getting the pace back. So he's going to be even quicker than what he was on the pad. Brutal Reapers, quick driver. RSF1 Mansell, Verstappen's brother, who's currently faster than Verstappen and is killing Verstappen inside. So, next we have VR46.
Not only you a bottle job, you've got a bro who's quicker than you. It's not going well for you, son.
And John MH, he was in the league last season, but he had to leave or something. But he's joined back, and he's going to be a reserve for F1. And yeah, that's
very nicely covered. Thank you very much. All right. So, one other thing I should have mentioned with the new changes to Season 2 is the Combined Team Championship. So this is... I'd love to be the person, or won't... No, wrong wording. I don't want to be the person who adds up every single team. And I can't imagine what the totals would be at the end, like 1,000 points or something, or probably more. But there's going to be a combined teams championship. Who is going to take top dogs in the teams overall? This is a good combination of every single tier. That's what the paddocks are, well, obviously to help other people with setups and tyre strategies and the RS and everything else, and just general help each other. But that was the idea, because you want to do well for the entire team. So,
well, do you know what?
Rebster.
That's what I'm going to say. Alfa Romeo's going to win. Simple as that. That's what I'm going to say.
I'll get to you, Alonso. Rebster, first. You're obviously driving Toro Rosso this season.
Yes, mate.
Is there... Obviously, you probably think you have good chances for yourself in Toro Rosso, but any other team overall that you think, oh, they got good teams in the tiers that can maybe be at the top at the end of the season?
Not really.
Good answer. Good answer.
Rose's head just going like...
I think what it all boils down to, though, is going to be reliability, isn't it? People turning up, people racing, people getting the points.
Exactly, and if you look at the Toro Rosso team, they're the ones that are going to turn up every week and get the points, so they're going to win it. Simple.
I know Ferrari will as well.
I don't think so. But we'll see.
Look at that beautiful shade of red in that car. Oh, and a little bit of black and white. This is
for
wonderful,
God's sake!
Wonderful.
Do you want I'll tell you what. Do you want us to leave you alone with the
There's one thing missing on your car.
Go and bang one out.
Actually, no, Michael's going back to your car. You've got extras on there, mate. That is not allowed. You've got wings and everything on there.
You got wings on your car. Let's go to your car.
You normally
got
knock them
cars
off.
on yours. Wings on yours.
Much better looking
right,
car.
Alonso. You're in the Alfa Romeo this season. Obviously, you weren't, which I find ironic because
here we go. Here comes
obviously you were in Ferrari last season, and if I remember rightly, you broke about how many front wings was it in Baku? About 5.
If you're going to take the mic, right, okay, get your facts straight. How many times have we had this conversation? You try to take the mic, it backfires on you because basically you don't get your facts straight and you just can't take the mic because you're not funny. Right, anyway, basically it was 4 front wings. Yes, I broke 4 front wings in Baku. Ha ha ha, very funny. But the difference is I will never have that title of being disqualified from a race because I scored too many penalties. That would always be you, dude.
It hasn't happened in RSF1, I'll have you know.
It has, it's cookies.
He's referring to me.
Yeah, you got close. You got close.
I have gone close.
Yeah, I know. But listen,
I was just thinking you got demoted to Alfa Romeo, but anyway, carry on.
I never got demoted at all, mate. You know what I mean? I never got demoted to Alfa Romeo, as far as I'm concerned. So, because if you're going to say I got demoted, then you're slagging off my good friends in the rest of the Alfa Romeo. For example, right? Just to name just a
Yeah. He's gone.
Oh, he's connecting. Right, let's move on.
Is he?
Let's move on quickly. Element.
taking them off.
If you asked me about 2-3 hours ago, I would have said Mercedes, but I don't know now.
Okay, you'll be given a team. Okay, is there any team that you
Watch
are
this space.
expecting? Yeah. Are there any team that you're expecting to be near to the top at the end of the season? Combined.
Yep.
Combined.
Yeah.
Are you asking me or Tomo right now?
I was asking Element.
Oh, okay.
Oh, was you? All right. I'm sorry.
I would say it's really hard to call though. It's really hard to call. I would have to say maybe Ferrari. They've got some solid drivers. Mercedes, Red Bull as well. The Toro Rossos. I don't know. I just can't call it.
Yeah. I think as I was saying to Rapster, I think what's going to win it is people turning up and scoring the points.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Keeping the motivation between the team. Obviously knowing that it's a marathon, not a sprint. So, like for example, if you get low points in your own tier in Australia, the opening round, you could get like 43 in Bahrain. So, yeah, so it's all about consistency. Just keep on bringing in the points, bringing in the bacon. I believe the
bring in the bacon.
saying is.
Bringing home the bacon.
Yeah, bring the bacon.
Home.
Yeah.
Please, and Tomo.
Yeah, should be good. Should be good. Yeah, I think that wraps up pretty much. I don't think we can talk about anything else.
Actually, I do have one question. I do have one question for all of you because somebody forgot about it. So obviously, let's get it over and done with. So we'll start with you, actually, Mr. Captain Penalty himself. Where do you see yourself finishing this season?
Six.
Ooh, okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. I feel obviously it's ultra competitive F2. There's a lot of drivers in there that can win races. Consistency. I don't think there's going to be a driver that will get more than 4 wins. I think the wins are going to be spread across the entire season, so it's all going to be down to consistency. That lovely word once again. I want to at least win one race. I won 2 last season, one which I feel I deserved and the other I feel I didn't deserve. But obviously I'm looking at Baku being one that I hopefully will win back-to-back like last season. But yeah, I need to obviously just get to, say, Singapore. And if I'm in the title fight in that one, then who knows? Because that's where my weak tracks come into play. Past Singapore, that's where my weak point of the season comes in. So we'll see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it either way.
Okay. Webster, same question to you, man.
First.
Yo, lovely.
We want to still win.
Love it.
Nothing else will do.
Again.
First,
You
mate.
drink again.
No, but I'm in a team, and it's the team that does well. And if I don't do my team well, our team won't do well. So you got to aim for the top. So I'm coming first.
Love that from you.
Fair enough. No problem. Okay. Skadoosh. What about you?
Last.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
last.
come on, you'll be fine.
Nah, I'll be last.
You'll be fine. Motivation, come on.
No, there's none.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Go on then,
Yeah,
Tom.
that's
What
alright.
about you?
If he says first,
Oh, here we go.
then he's lying.
Here we go.
Let's see. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to go for it this season. Do you know what I mean? I've been holding back. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to win the championship this season.
You lying.
Hold it back.
I have. I've been purposely holding back. It's been, you know what I mean? It's been playing on my mind all season.
back.
All holidays. And, I personally had to take a trip. I had to literally go for a walk. I took a trip down a walk. I took a trip down a hill. I took myself out and saw myself, and I thought to myself, do you know what? You got to be better than what you are. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to win the championship this season. I can't hold back anymore.
Had a long walk.
Fair play to you,
I
mate.
think about where he
Yeah,
was.
I had a long talk with myself. You know what I mean? I had to sit down and think long and hard about what I had to do, and that was that. Simple as that. So, yes.
Well, there you go.
I will be
guys.
winning the
You have
championship
it.
this season.
If you win a race this season, I'm not going to hear the end of it.
You don't need to win a race to win a championship.
It's very true. If you think of the great Alain Prost, he was named a professor, and the reason why he's named a professor is because basically, in the day, didn't have to always win the championship.
FIA.
As look, well, no, not only that, but also the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, he only had to score so many points in order to win the championship, and that's exactly what he did.
And he was a chemistry teacher.
He was indeed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, you just changed your name to Prost.
Who, me?
You love him so much.
Yeah, I wanted
don't
to go
love
Alonso,
Pro- I
but
don't-
then you
I
decided to go
don't-
Alonso, and I was like, what the
Anyway,
that's
guys, I
because-
think we're getting off topic here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
sorry.
are, we are,
Yeah.
yeah, we are, yeah. I blame Skadoosh for that one, you know what I mean?
Alright. Right, there we go.
I'm winning the
Thank
championship,
you.
that's it. I'm moving up, I'm winning F5 this year. That's yeah, simple as that.
That's
Okay.
one thing I'd like to say, Michaels, before we drop offline, mate. I'd just like to say a really huge thank you to everybody in the league, the drivers, all the staff, and everything. Obviously, without them, we wouldn't have a league. So it's really, really important. And if anybody wants to get involved in the league, then just contact your division head. Tell them you want to get involved. We've got lots of vacancies for lots of people to help out and make this league even better than what it is now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, no problem. No problem. Well said. All right. So there we have it. We've done all that we need to do. The only thing left to now is to away phone. Making a noise. Yeah, the only thing we need to do now is just give it the green light, and the 5 red lights will become green in the Melbourne Grand Prix this Sunday. All kicks off in the F2 division, 8 o'clock.
You what?
What?
5 lights go out and there's no green lights. It's just 5 lights go out and then we're off. Where are you?
Oh,
Unbelievable.
you had to
Brandon. What
pick
is
holes
wrong
in it,
with you?
didn't you?
Well, listen, if you're going to say, look, listen, I told you before, if you're going to come out with these things, make sure you get them right. I mean, you're a commentator for crying out loud. What's the matter with you?
I think just good luck to
now
all our
we're- I think
drivers
we're
for
off topic
season
now.
2 is all you need to say now, Michaels, and then we should get off.
Yeah, yeah, I think so, Michael.
Alright,
You've got to
alright.
hang your head in shape, son.
Okay. Yes, yeah, see you all for season 2, and all the best of luck to everyone involved, and yeah, have fun. My name has been Orison from Bundled. Been joined by Alonso.
Thank you very much for having me.
Don't say bye then, fine.
Yeah. Bye! Bye, everyone! It's been great! It's been awesome!
Rebster.
Yeah, good night all. See you on the track, hopefully, for
Good night.
season 2. Have fun, guys.
And Skadoosh.
Yeah, skadoosh out.
Alright, see you next time. Have a good evening and take care.